We're here in the Memorial Garden to answer some questions about euthanasia. We had a few questions about where the horses are buried and also what happens during the actual euthanasia on the farm.
So the horses that we put down here on the property, we do bury on the property. We now have a backhoe attachment for our tractors, so we're actually able to bury them ourselves, which is both good and bad. It gives us a lot more flexibility, but it's also a difficult thing to do. As far as where they get buried, it depends on a number of factors. Their mobility, if they're able to walk to a site where we want to bury them, or if we're going to have to move them. A lot of the horses are buried out in the open field, to the side of the volunteer center, but then we also have a lot of horses buried in various pastures as well. So if the horse is mobile, we walk it as close as we can to the spot where we plan on burying it. And then the vet sedates the horse, and then we wait until they're very relaxed, and then they give them 2 doses of what's called Fatal Plus, and that stops their heart. It happens very quickly, and because they are horses and they have to be standing when this happens, they don't have to be standing. We have had to euthanize some that were unable to stand, but 99% of the time they are standing when it happens. Unfortunately, they do fall down at that point, and that can be very rough to see because it's a 1,000-pound animal that no longer has any control of its body, so they just collapse. And then at that point, the vet will just make sure that their heart has in fact stopped. There will be sometimes some reflexes that they go through, but they are brain dead at that point. These are just kind of natural electric pulses that can happen sometimes. So it's not the horse having any sort of reaction to the drugs or anything like that. And then once they are gone, I always get a little bit of tail hair or mane hair from every horse that we euthanize. I collect all of that. And the horses are also not alone when this happens. Myself or Colleen or somebody is with them. We just keep it as calm and quiet as possible. Let them go with dignity. And then once they have passed, then our wonderful volunteers volunteer to paint a rock for them, and those rocks are placed in the memorial garden. We do need to do a little bit of rehab of the memorial garden. Some of the paint has faded, so we need to get some rocks repainted. But every horse that has been in the rescue that has passed away, whether they were at this farm or if they had been adopted or were the fosters, as long as they were one of the rescue's horses, they get a rock in the memorial.